Good evening, passengers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. With me here tonight is the fangirl.
I want to take a nap!
Yeah, a lot of shit is going on for Fanny over there. A lot of, one, work, as per usual, and two, she is preparing for an event that I think we actually discussed on a previous episode of the Trainwreck.
Yes, I am finally approaching the next level of adulthood. I'm getting married.
Yay.
Proper legal marriage.
Yay. Proper legal marriage over in the courthouse. It's going to be a courtroom wedding with a small reception.
Very small reception. Like, our goal with all of this was save money, buy cheap with everything from our outfits to the catering, which will basically just be like us calling 2 or 3 days ahead to a local sandwich shop and going, "Hey, we want the platters." The most expensive part in this entire thing is the wedding cake.
Ah, of course.
Because here's the thing. Codemaster C, who is my fiance, he's the man I am marrying, Codemaster C and I share one food thing in common. We like bread and cake. Like, he especially loves bread things, like yeasty breads, quick breads. If it's bread, he loves it. He'll eat it. And I like cake. If it's cake, I'll fucking eat it. And he also enjoys cake. So the best fucking part of this whole thing is going to... So when we decided we were going to get married, we also decided that if we have to splurge on anything at all for this wedding, it's going to be the cake.
Ah.
So I went to, and I of course am supporting a local baker of mine. This person is a lovely human being who also is one of my customers at Super Rent World of the Mushroom Kingdom. That is the code name for where I work, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, this person is a customer at Super Rent World. They have been very kindly to me and my coworkers in the past, and they have made various baked goods for our mini gatherings. They even baked my birthday cake last year, and it was the most fucking delicious cake I've ever had. Like, I am spoiled for grocery store cakes and cupcakes because of this customer's baking. So, I knew as soon as I had tasted my birthday cake that I wanted that same kind of treatment for my wedding. And when it came to it, I shelled out the $100 deposit, and again, we went full out. We went total bougie on this cake. And also, we also indulged in our secret little dark hearts because Codemaster C and I, even though we work in the public sector and are forced to wear normal clothes, if we had our druthers, he would dress like Gomez Adams, and I would be pastel goth all the live long fucking day.
Yes.
So, but because we can't dress that way, normally, we decided to indulge our dark little hearts by getting a black fondant cake with gold leaf.
Oh, that's majestic.
Edible sugar flowers, and this baker does the most realistic, goddamn beautiful sugar flowers. And that's just the outside. The inside is going to be vanilla frosting, a vanilla Bavarian cream filling in between each layer, and the actual cake is going to be checkerboard, meaning it will be black, it will be chocolate and vanilla, arranged so that when you cut into the fucking thing, it looks like a checkerboard square pattern. Mm-hmm. This thing, including the deposit, is going to be $250.
Hey, all around, that's not a terrible price.
It's not a terrible price for a 2-tier wedding cake, because most of that price is 1, the gold leaf, and 2, the pattern inside. We're paying for technique and the ingredients, and I'm fine with this. Like I said, the most bougie and most expensive part of the whole thing is going to be cake, and god damn it, we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, like shit, $250 for such a cake and a 2-tiered cake at that. That's pretty fucking decent, actually.
Mm-hmm. And I specifically told this baker I want enough to feed about 30 people. So far, our guest list includes between 15 and 30. And if all of our intended guests RSVP, we'll have enough for everybody to basically have one slice apiece. But if only about half the guest list arrives, then that means everybody gets 2 pieces. But regardless, we're going to make sure everybody has a taste of this fucking cake.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is the most expensive part of the wedding. Everything else, we penny pinched the whole way around. Like, my wedding dress, and my veil together cost like $60. Code's vest, like, the only new thing he bought for this is a vest. That cost $39. And the wedding certificate, to get the wedding certificate, we had to pay $60 at our local courthouse, which is the biggest thing that fucking boggles my mind. We can't get married at our local city courthouse anymore, probably because of COVID shit. I don't know, but because of all that, we can't get married here in our city. Unfortunately, we have to go 2 hours away down to Springfield to use one of their courthouses to get married. The good news is, if we go down there, it's free. And they have done weddings for our area before, so they know when we get the paperwork signed that they're just going to take our paperwork, put in an envelope, and mail it back up to our local city district. So our city will be able to just sign off on the thing.
Makes sense.
So yeah, like that's the good part. The parts that are going to suck are going to include the gas to get back and forth.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately we have to drive ourselves, and so do our witnesses for this. And if we have to get anything to eat on our way, either on our way down or on our way back, we've got to pay for that too, and that's going to be expensive given the current state of things in the country. But we're just considering that part and parcel for the situation. But yeah, if we play it smart, all told, this entire thing should hopefully cost only $500. And compared to a lot of other people's weddings that they sometimes fucking take bank loans out for it in order to fund them. I mean, that's a bargain, a huge bargain.
Oh yeah, like that has been something that has been on my mind. I'm hoping, if things go well with Storm Spark, I'm hoping to have I don't want to have a
if you
super.
Watch this episode.
I'm hoping to not have a super fucking bougie wedding, because the thing is, I've seen too much of our current
bigger is better lifestyle.
The bigger is better lifestyle. You don't need that. You don't fucking need that for a wedding. Honestly, people just go to the courthouse, sign a paper, and boom, they're married. And sometimes, in Fanny's case, sometimes they want a little bit more ceremony, but it's not in their budget to have a fucking wedding on the Eiffel Tower or some fucking shit like that.
We can't afford years ago. My original dream wedding was to go fly back down to Savannah, Georgia. And not only have the marriage there, to have the ceremony and all that stuff there, but also to have the honeymoon there. We can't afford that. Well, that was a pipe dream. This is more suited to what me and Codemaster want. Just the wedding ceremony itself next week will be just 2 witnesses, his parents, me and him, and a judge in a courthouse. That's literally all it'll be. And then the week after that, after we were wonderfully, my future in-laws have very kindly gifted me and Codemaster a honeymoon at a local, kind of a state resort that's, pretty popular. Nice. Yeah, we're going to be honeymooning in a very popular state resort. And they foot the bill for us. The only thing we have to pay for is if we buy anything down there, like souvenirs or, or mementos or whatever. Paying admission to the attractions. That's all we have to cover. Like, they literally have covered food, hotel, like all that stuff. Like, even one super romantic attraction one night has been covered for us, and we are grateful. We are extremely grateful because we had actually planned to just spend that whole honeymoon week staycationing at home and maybe driving a couple of hours to different cities, around us that had, little walk through, visit this place and do the thing style attractions. We didn't expect to go to an actual resort area, but we were happy to have gotten it. Anyway, after our honeymoon, we're pretty much just the only other thing we have to worry about is, like I mentioned before, it's kind of a reception. It's a mix of a reception with a party, kind of like an after party to celebrate with family and close friends. So some of Codemaster's extended fam are coming. My brother, Medic Bro is what I'll call him for the sake of it. Like, Medic Bro is my oldest of my siblings. He's the only one who can make it, but he has already committed to coming out. He's going to be there to kind of represent my half of the family. Like I said, a couple of local friends who live around here that can make it in. That's basically it. I mean, I actually technically invited King Koopa, my fucking boss's boss, as a courtesy.
Oh no.
I don't know if he'll actually show up, but I at least did the polite thing and said, "Here, if you want." It's also a nice reminder that don't call me into work this day. I'm going to be doing this. But yeah, like that's all we want. Just a private ceremony first, and then a party for everybody else later. We don't want anything huge.
Yeah.
Of course, not that I'm knocking anyone who does wants a huge wedding. If you're out there listening and you want to do the huge fucking bougie crazy wedding, and you can afford to do the big crazy fucking bougie wedding, good on you. Enjoy it. You only with extreme luck, you only have to do it once.
Yeah, just don't take out a loan. Don't
take out a loan. Don't pay a mortgage towards paying off your wedding.
Yeah, please. Don't let your wedding cost as much as your house.
But yeah, honestly, I'm tired because, along with having to work, because I want to be able to still have a paycheck when I'm coming in while I'm off for my wedding stuff. Wedding planning is hard. There's a reason it's part of adulting, and you don't go into it lightly. Even when it's a minimal wedding like this, you don't go into it lightly, and it's stressful. I mean, hell, I ended up accidentally sending a blank invitation to one of my guests, and they were a little bit worried, like, why didn't I get anything on my card? It's pretty, but why didn't I get anything on it? Because I went the route of fucking handmade cards. I'm like, oh god, I just forgot to fill it out. So I need to send, tomorrow I'm sending them a replacement invitation. They have already RSVP'd though, and have told me they will be in attendance, but I want them to have the card for sentimental value, and it's kind of rude to just let them have a blank card. So there's that happening. I still haven't, there's still some people who I'm just going to be sending invites, not because I want them to actually show up or I expect them to show up. And honestly, it's less of an invite, more of an announcement. I'm going to be sending announcement cards to other members who I know of my family and extended relatives that I know can't make it, but I want them to have this as a reminder that this happened. I still haven't gotten around to that yet. Oh, God. This is rough. So, and I'm cutting it down to the wire. Literally, my marriage is next Thursday. So, it's hard. It's stressful. It's overwhelming. Yes, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm finally marrying the love of my life. But, oh my god, all the shit you have to do. This is why, if you ever do it, anybody else out there who's considering marrying your love, if you do this, it's going to stress you out. you're going to be tired. There's reasons why girls and some gentlemen become bridezillas or groomzillas.
Mm-hmm.
But there's reasons why that happens. But in the end, just keep in mind, just bear in mind, you're about to go into a beautiful thing, something that that many people wish for and hope for, not everyone gets. Just, it's going to stretch you out for a little while. Expect it. But when it's done, and you know that you are, in the eyes of whatever your religion happens to be, or at least in the eyes of the law, that you are married to the person, that you are now bound to the person who you want for the rest of your life, it's going to be worth it. And hell, if it comes to the point that, I don't like to get political, it's kind of a thing we don't want to do here, but to touch briefly, if it comes to a point where certain unions are not technically permissible anymore, one, fight for that shit. You have a right to. But two, even if all you do is, even if you are married, at least in the eyes of your friends, family, neighbors, and with each other, it's worth it. Because love is love, and being able to be with the person that you love for the rest of your natural life is a beautiful and wonderful thing. Don't take it for granted. Don't waste that moment, and don't let the stress taint that knowledge that this is happening for you.
This has been marital advice from the fangirl.
Sorry, I've been all over.
Oh no, it's fine. You are more than welcome to do this advice. This is a big event for you. I'm just pulling your leg a little bit.
But anyway, enough schmaltzy, mushy talk. On to the bullshit.
Onto the show proper, folks. You know how the game goes by now. We got the softcore material and the hardcore material, and we got music breaks somewhere in the middle. One of which is coming up right now. We'll be right back with Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time, except if brides are to be called bridezillas, can we call the grooms King Groomdora? It's a bit of a stretch, but meh.
I will banish you and all the kaiju to the fucking ocean. Oddly enough, nobody ever notices what's going on with the Count Chocula.
Dear Lord, now. Is this going to be a thing now whenever Gray is missing that someone else is going to take over?
Somebody's going to do it!
Oh, man. Okay. Welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. We're going to start with the softcore material, and we're going to start with something light. It's another case of ironic clothing.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes somebody gets arrested and the clothing speaks for itself. We have a drug defendant who makes a terrible wardrobe choice. Just gonna put the article there for you to read. And I'm going to copy the image and paste it right there. Take a look. Can you spot the mistake?
Oh, no.
For those unable to see, this is a middle-aged man. This is a middle-aged man wearing a purple shirt that proclaims, "I'm too good for drugs."
Lies, sir. Lies and deceit.
Lies and deceit indeed, considering that on June 25th, this Alabama man was wearing this shirt while under arrest for possessing methamphetamine and narcotics paraphernalia. This is Alan Burnett, 60 years old. He was collared that Thursday night near his home in Asheville. Burnett was charged with a pair of drug counts and booked into the St. Clair County Jail. He was released early the morning prior to this article being written, June 24th, after posting $3,500 bail.
Oh, dear Lord.
But yeah, this is a weird trend that has been going on. I think we've reported on this at least once. during all this, I've got a list from the Smoking Gun with other defendants in similar situations. We have I Love Crystal Meth.
Why?
Who needs drugs? No, seriously, I have drugs. Let's see. Here's a topical one. There was an Illinois man who was arrested after for allegedly possessing the makings of a meth lab while wearing a Los Pollos Hermanos t-shirt. This is, of course, in reference to the series Breaking Bad, featuring the titular restaurant run by Gus Fring. Just...
Now,
They do know what happened to Gus in that series, right?
no, clearly they don't.
No,
Otherwise,
they
they wouldn't be fucking wearing the shirt.
Yeah, like, I don't get this fucking trend. Do they think that this is like the drug user equivalent of how you doing, fellow kids? Like, do they think that if they wear these shirts, they are going to be able to blend in?
No, they don't think that. They just
Listen.
they're like hipsters. They're wearing them ironically. In their mind, it's a funny joke.
And apparently
Because-
this guy didn't get the memo.
Because, sorry, because if you wear something like that around, and like their logic is, I'm going to wear this around because the cops can't, question me. They can't have probable cause because of what I've got written on my shirt. Wrongfully, they're thinking this because cops can come up with almost any probable cause they want.
Yeah, for better or worse
that's
these days.
Mostly for worse. And like a lot of them, I don't want to call them stupid, but they're in trouble for drug deals. So yeah, most of them are really stupid, and they don't understand that. No, cops can come up with any probable cause they want to search your ass. I got pulled over driving from my town to the capital of my state because I had my car's license plates were out of state. That was their probable cause. I almost missed a flight.
Oof.
This was back when I didn't have a license plate for my state, and it was from the state that I got my car from, my grandmother's car. And yeah, they can come up with any probable cause they want. They don't need a reason.
This is extremely true. Like, as an example, like my fiance got pulled over because he apparently didn't stop long enough at a stop sign once, and literally he did the thing. He paused and then he started going, but apparently the cop expected him to be stopped for a whole 5 seconds rather than a brief pause before going on, which is what so many other fucking people do. And that was cause enough to stop him, and then cause enough to give him a ticket was your license plate, which had literally just been updated like 3 days prior to this. Like, they ran his plate and they said, "Oh, your plate's out of date," but the sticker literally says next year. Well, your plate's out of date, and you don't have your insurance card in your glove box. So here's your ticket, pay it, or you gotta go to court, babe. Luckily, he had all that shit at home. He sent all this pertinent info in an email to local judges, and within about 2 weeks, the whole matter was cleared up, and he didn't have to do a damn thing or pay a damn thing. So, but still, it was just being a few seconds too quick to turn a corner at a stop sign was enough for this cop to pull him over.
Yeah,
They will find a way.
I know that feeling. I will always tell this story about how I at some point during my intermediate days of driving, when I apparently didn't have a full handle on how to drive properly, I did a lot of New York stops, which are basically the stop sign is a suggestion. Very fucking dangerous in retrospect. Apparently, cops will just flag you down if you do that, and for some fucking reason, back during a previous relationship I had, I was pulling out of that person's neighborhood, and I literally did a New York stop in front of an undercover police officer, and like I saw the fucking like badge on his uniform as I turned, and I was just like, well, guess that's me fucked. Like the fucking like timing, especially with my mother at the time going, don't do New York stops, those are dangerous, the cops will get you. I will always wonder to myself, did my mother like pull some strings or some bullshit?
You probably saw that you were just an ignorant kid and let you go.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, my previous relationship's father was just like, he's a good kid, leave him alone.
Thank God.
Thank God for that. Anywho, dumb t-shirts aside, we move on, actually.
Oh, wait, I do want to comment one thing.
Sure.
On the I love the article you posted. The only comment that's on here is a scam bot. Says, for doing the greatest and easiest work from home, Google pays $170 per time unit. So far this year, I have made $10,000 working online. I am full-time college student with only 3 to 4 hours of work a day. Everyone should attempt this job now by clicking this link.
Bullshit.
Back your fucking grammar.
Capital W, lowercase, capital W, lowercase ww, dot, capital W, ORKS 10 dot, capital COM, and I'm not sure what that final symbol is.
Again, check your fucking grammar and don't make yourself an obvious goddamn bot.
Yeah,
it's a bot.
It's a bot.
They don't care.
Anywho, we move on from t-shirts to pants. And apparently how snakes like to eat them. June 24th. A day prior to the previous article. Woman naked from waist down claimed snakes ate her pants.
Honey, my pet ate it, did not work in school. It ain't gonna work now!
Yeah, there actually was one time where I gave an excuse like that for my homework, but I actually brought in the ripped up stuff. My little sister, when she was like 3, ripped up some of my homework, so I brought it in the next day and I said, "Where's your homework?" I'm like, "Here it is." What happened? My little sister got a hold of it. Crap. I've never let her live that down.
As well, you shouldn't. Anywho. Again, this is from June 24th. A woman found naked from the waist down told Pennsylvania cops that snakes had eaten her pants. Responding that previous Thursday afternoon to multiple 911 calls about a half-dressed woman walking in the middle of a road about 25 miles from Philadelphia. Cops found Gloria Harple, 35, quote, naked from the waist down, and she was rambling, end quote. Harple, who police suspected of narcotics use, initially said that she had put her pants in a storm drain before contending that snakes had eaten them. Okay,
I don't know what the fuck you're taking, but I think the guy in the previous article is gonna probably want some.
Okay, number 1. Storm drain. Why?
Like when you're high, it doesn't really matter, dude. Like you come up with any reason to like justify.
Well, there's water down there, and my pants are dirty, so.
Like I know a lot of shit.
I don't even think they were thinking that far ahead. I just thought they were thinking I should take off my pants and put them down that storm drain.
Yeah. If
somebody said why, they'd probably answer because the little pixies need them.
Or because Pennywise is cold.
Oh, man. Okay. So, Harple, who was reportedly, quote, sweating profusely and making nonsensical outbursts, end quote, was arrested for indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and drunken publicness. Well done, Trademark. Public drunkenness. She was booked into the Montgomery County Jail on the misdemeanor counts. A probable cause affidavit does not provide further description of the purported trouser snakes, but Tish.
Like, why would snakes eat pants?
Again, that surely says if this woman is indeed a peruser of methamphetamines or drug paraphernalia of any kind, I don't think logic was really working with her. I mean, look at her fashion sense alone. Like, what is this dress? Like, it just hit me that mass in the center of her dress are like flowers. I thought that was Pinkie Pie for a hot minute.
Like it's flowers and leopard print. Girl, did you were you wearing snakeskin patterned pants? And then when you got rid of them, you're like, the snakes wanted revenge.
Oh man, but yeah, short and sweet article about two dumb drug abusing morons. I do have a longer story though for the final softcore article. One featuring the Tour de France. Because apparently there has been an ongoing thing with the Tour de France where someone has been basically defacing the road with graffiti. And so now...
Well, I guess I could make some comments about the Tour de France. What's the graffiti saying?
Well, it's not so much what they say, but rather what they depict. It is the job of Tour de France workers to transform giant penis graffiti into butterflies. Your thoughts?
Somebody just drew a bunch of dicks on the road, huh?
Yep, pretty much.
Well, I can't really blame them.
Go on. Give some context as to why someone would want to just draw dicks on the road.
All right, so Trey, do you remember Cutie had us watch a movie a couple years ago about a guy who lived in the Midwest, whose father was worked in a stone mill, not in the quarry, in the stone mill, but he was all obsessed about bicycling, about cross-country bicycling, and he got his friends to get to do this like bicycle tournament against the rich kids in town, and one of them was played by Marv from Home Alone.
I actually do not remember this. I do not remember Marv.
Okay.
But go
anyway,
on.
So the opinions of a lot of those people was that in that movie is that these kids who were from the poorer side of town, dad was working class, had a whole bunch of siblings. He's trying to go to college, and he's obsessed with stuff like the Tour de France. And he's actually a decent cyclist. Well, when the actual competitors from France come into the French or Italian, I can't remember exactly.
I think they're Italian because I vaguely remember this actually.
Yeah, and they come in and they treat him like crap, and also all the rich kids who are used to cycling as a college sport also treat him like crap. A lot of the country in Europe views the Tour de France as rich bougie assholes basically taking up their roads and blocking their thoroughfares, making them late for work, making it harder to get through their daily lives, just so a bunch of rich assholes sponsored by asshole companies can drive by on their tiny little bicycles and in their skin tight spandex.
All right.
And in all honesty, there is a level of there is a level of classism to it, because cycling is the modern day gentleman's sport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. How's your recovery from Lance Armstrong treating you?
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
the film in question, by the way, that was Breaking Away, right? The 1979
I believe
film?
so. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And but yeah, there is this classism to it, which is kind of stupid, because cycling as a sport started as poor man's sport. But because the only way to win nowadays is to train your ass off constantly, to have the best bike that has to fit within the industry standards, and to be sponsored, you have to be well liked. You have to be marketable.
Yeah.
But the average everyday schmuck can't do that. And there's this class divide, just like there is, and there's also like the company who runs the Tour de France, the actual like I forgot what the actual European Bicycling Association's name is, but they kind of have this like we're better than everyone else because we are this international group. They're kind of like FIFA. They're just not as corrupt.
Well, now that we have some context as to why someone would do this, let's actually read about someone doing this. 2 men have been given the bizarre job of painting over giant penises that have been etched on the Tour de France course by vandals. Images showed 2 individuals wearing high-vis equipped with paint and a route map of the course as they began their efforts to remove the graffiti. With the event being televised, they cannot have such foul language on show and let's see. They are doing their task in a rather ingenious war. Instead of merely brushing over the graphic design, they are changing them into different things. So from male genitalia has become an owl and a butterfly.
I apologize, folks, for the cat. She wants to say hello.
It's fine. I actually have the 2 images. We have penis, and now
The uncensored images.
the uncensored image.
They censored that.
I can't.
Come on.
Yeah, people are just fucking anal about that shit. Also, we have penis, and now, what I am told is a butterfly.
That's not a butterfly.
No, it's not.
I have no idea what the fuck that is. That is.
You know
not
what
a
would have been
butterfly, that's a
easier to
cockroach.
do? Just get some black paint.
Yeah, that would have been a lot easier. Just get black paint and a roller and just.
Black paint, or like. But that's not a butterfly. That's some sort of.
That's a
some sort of
cockroach.
Beetle.
That's a
Yeah,
cockroach.
it looks like a cockroach or a beetle. Like, it's literally not a butterfly.
Nope. Let me see. I'm just trying to find like some good like quotes or whatever from this bullshit. We have a quote from Tadej Pogasa. I am so sorry, I mispronounced that name. I guarantee you. This is a young Slovenian rider gunning for his 3rd consecutive title in the Tour de France. For me, honestly, the hardest part of racing is being away from your home. Oh, this is not even related to the fucking penises.
Run.
Here we go. Nope. I honestly don't have anything else apart from... Look, penis. Well done, Tour de France. How about telling us why the penises are popping up, as opposed to saying, we cannot have such foul imagery on our national fucking sports event? Cannot have penises on there? What are you, insane?
I mean, to be honest, if somebody snuck into a Super Bowl stadium the night before the big game in February and just like spray painted a giant penis across the 50-yard line, they have to cover that up too.
I'm sorry no one likes Mr. Wee Willie Winky. But,
Oh god, you have to call it that? Now that nursery rhyme just has so many more wrong meanings.
sorry, whoever did this is a fucking child. Whoever drew this.
They are.
It's very much a child who's just like...
I mean, it is a very.
I mean, it's also
simple
a child.
drawing.
More than likely, it's an adult child who's just pissed off at the Tour de France for clogging up his roadway. Look at all those camper vans on the side of the road.
Yeah, I just realized what those are. What the fuck?
Yeah, those are what do they call them in Europe and Britain? Caravans. Yeah, caravans.
Yeah.
Those aren't race officials. Those are people lining up to watch the race.
They're
going to sit there
on the telly.
It's different because it's like we have to be in person.
Why?
But they're gonna sit there. They're gonna sit there for days and only watch them pass by one time.
What the fuck is the point?
Well, it's like the difference between people driving all the way to Daytona, Florida, from like halfway across the country, when they could easily just go and watch it on the television. They want to physically be there.
This is
Granted, I've heard, I've heard that actual physical viewership for NASCAR has dropped significantly since they've banned a certain flag from being flown at their events.
But yeah,
stay mad.
Yes,
you fucking Confederates.
But yeah, like fucking. This is why shit keeps happening at the Tour de France. Do you remember, like, I'm not sure how many years ago it was, but I think it was like a couple at least. You remember when someone like stuck a fucking sign out in front of the fucking Tour de France or some sort of bike event with a sign that said, "Hey, Grandpa," and they just all slammed into the sign, and that person ran. That person fucking booked a flight and got the fuck out of the country because they were so scared. Like,
yeah,
this.
It's a sport, guys. It's a fucking sport.
Just stay home.
No one cares.
No one fucking cares.
No, people care. People care, but you should chill, okay? Don't take it this seriously.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay, here's a great context for you. People didn't care so much, but when the first Olympics, as we know it in modern history, 1890-something Olympics in Greece, when it first happened, they did the marathon. Do you know what they actually had the guys do on what they actually did on the marathon? The guys running would actually get like drinks from the different villagers and townsfolk they were running past, and some of that stuff was straight alcohol.
Yeah.
That's how little they gave a fuck back then.
Uh-huh.
Like, listen, people...
This
what's going to happen? Like if you expect your grandpa or your uncle to like come in and commandeer your fucking sofa and just veg during like the fucking Super Bowl, like, or during some sort of baseball game, or just expect other people to fucking get on their bikes and cycle through on your highway. It's going to happen. There's really it's not that big of a deal. Just let these people enjoy their shit.
Yeah, just leave it the fuck alone. Shit like this is why I don't pay attention to sports. Like, oh, they're running around with a ball. Good for them. Leave them be. I'll listen to my podcasts and my audiobooks over here. I don't give a shit. Because I'm a fucking nerd. Anywho. That's it for the softcore article. Not really much going on in the softcore department, but oh boy. The hardcore department. Some things are happening.
Oh, dear God.
And we'll find out what those things are in just a moment. We'll be right back with the hardcore material here on Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio. I'll fandom all the time. Except when the penises turn into beautiful butterflies.
They're not butterflies.
That's not how
it's a roach.
Cocooning works.
Welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the hardcore material. And we are...
You insist.
Oh,
Can we just go back? Can we just go back to talking about weddings?
I wish, but instead, we have to talk about someone who stole a patrol car. But the best part is, he responded to a police call while intoxicated.
Well, his heart is in the right place, but he got a funny way of showing it.
Breaker, this is Delta Niner. I'm wasted as fuck. Alright.
So I want to hear what he responded to.
Well, let's see what prompted this fella to live out his childhood dreams of being a policeman.
This happened on June 23rd, 2022. A man was arrested after stealing a police vehicle, evading and shooting at police, all while appearing to be intoxicated earlier that week. Jeremiah James Taylor, 33, was charged with aggravated motor vehicle theft, vehicular eluding, impersonating a police officer, obstruction, resisting arrest, reckless endangerment, second-degree burglary, and reckless driving. Jesus Christ.
That's like that old trope of arson, murder, and jaywalking.
Taylor reportedly, what the fuck? Taylor reportedly unmarked tooth. I think they meant to say stole a marked 2013 Dodge Durango after breaking into the Lake George substation of the Park Care. Man, my fucking mouth is not working with me tonight. He broke into the Lake George substation of the Park County Sheriff's Office early that Monday morning, aka June 20th. Fucking hell. There we go. The 33-year-old then responded to a domestic violence call just prior to 3:30 a.m. that he heard on the broadcast on the Department Police channel inside the vehicle. So that's what he responded to.
Man, fuck the police! Unless you're beating your ass, then fuck you!
The people at the home said Taylor appeared to be intoxicated upon arrival, and that he asked, "Where's the old man that's going to shoot someone?" before speeding off prior to officers arriving at the scene. Okay, so let's review. The man stole a cop car, took it for a spin, heard a police call about a domestic violence case, actually showed up at the residence like, "Yo, what up?" and then left.
Again, I guess his heart was, he was trying to put his heart in the right place. He just had an odd way of showing it.
Don't know about that.
No.
But still, like, you gotta give him a little bit of credit for actually showing up and like, whatever the guy about is shoot people.
We have a quote from Park County Sheriff Tom McGraw. No relation to Tim McGraw. That was one.
I should hope not.
That was one of my biggest concerns, that we were going to have a high-speed pursuit with a law enforcement vehicle crashing into an innocent citizen. Police spotted Taylor about 2 hours later. 2 hours later? Jesus.
You take your sweet-ass time, fellas.
Yeah, Jesus. This, of course, led to a high-speed pursuit of up to 110 miles per hour and several traffic laws being broken.
Several, like, which ones? Which ones?
You know, those ones. Taylor crashed the police vehicle on Madacat Road around mile marker 4 before running into the woods, where deputies caught up to him. Taylor was reportedly armed with a knife, which led to deputies deploying a taser and shooting at least one round. However, no deputies were reported to be injured during the incident. Taylor experienced self-inflicted knife wounds and was taken to the hospital while in custody. I want to go back to the bit where they said that he was shooting at police all while appearing to be intoxicated. Shooting at police. Nowhere else in the article does it say that he had a gun.
Probably because he didn't say. Probably because, you know, I really hate to say it, but it sounds kind of suspect.
Yeah. But otherwise, all of this shit. Just this drunk boy showing up to a possible crime scene like, "Yo, where the shooter at?
I'll kick his ass."
What the gun doing? My God. Right. Next, we got a Florida man story. Florida man.
What'd you do today, Florida man?
Went to Disney and saw R2-D2. Decided that, hey, that's mine.
Oh, I heard about this. No. I actually have the details. It is.
Ooh.
This is probably one of the funnier, like, attempts at robbing anything in general.
Yeah.
Lord.
This happened June 30th in Orlando, Florida. Go on.
This man had dressed himself up as a Disneyland security officer. He'd gotten hold of a vest,
Yep.
fake name badge, and he was carrying a few bunch of memorabilia away, carting it off. And he basically had said, "Oh, it's okay. I was applied to be part of Disney World security." And here's his actual excuse. And this wasn't just like he was trying to say that as an exit plan for the cops. His actual plan was this. This was his actual excuse. I applied for the security position. Okay, you applied for it, but you're not actually security. What are you doing with this thing? I'm taking it to show them the flaws in their security.
One of these fucking cases. He's pretty. I'm sorry. He's pretending to be a jackass that is hired by Disney to show them how potentially flawed their security is.
Oh, Fanny, by the way, you'll also love this. The man's name is David Proudfoot.
Yeah.
He looks like a member of the Proudfoot clan, doesn't he?
Proud feet.
Oh, lordy. What? This is not hobbit behavior, sir! We don't steal
that is absolutely not true. That is the hobbits if given any chance will absolutely steal shit. The hobbits will steal anything given half the chance. Remember Lobelia and her husband? Every chance she got, she would try and steal the good silver.
Listen. She made up. He got the spoons back.
Eventually.
No, he took the spoons. He took back the spoons. So did you not watch the film? Those are his spoons. He took them back. But no,
he took them back once. She tried to take them multiple times.
Yeah.
Regardless, sir, Mr. Proudfoot, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Okay. So, yeah. Let's take a look at the details that Shirley didn't mention. This is David Emerson Proudfoot, 44, of Kissimmee. He was arrested May 31st and charged with two counts of grand theft. Jesus, my mouth's not working, sorry. 1 count of petite theft, 1 count of obstruction by false information, and 1 count of scheming to defraud.
Scheming? We're using this word now?
All right, I do want to point out something else that's kind of hilarious to me. Petite fraud is actually a crime in Florida.
Yeah.
It's essentially, or petite crime, excuse me, not petite fraud, petite crime. And what it actually is describing is petty criminal behavior, petty theft. But petite theft is actually a thing that Florida's state legislature made because they wanted to seem fancy.
Petite crime as opposed to plus-size crime.
Let me take a look. See. Oh, even fucking better. He had a fucking Walt Disney World issued tag with David inscribed on it. At least use a fucking, different name.
Story time from Disney.
Oh no! I'm sure the workers of Disney World have far more juicier details than.
Oh, they do. One of them has a TikTok account. Look up either Thomas or Mitch. They're the same person. Let's.
Well, he's not. And then he's Mitch.
Let me take a look. He told deputies his supervisor was James McDaniels. Security officials said there was no record of David Rogers working for the company, and that while McDaniels was a Disney employee, he was based out of Burbank, California.
So Disneyland, not Disney World.
Yeah.
Wrong theme park, sir.
Yeah. So one of the officers wrote that he escorted Proudfoot to the Yacht Club Resort to retrieve his belongings and driver's license from the employee lockers. He added that Proudfoot appeared to be lost and confused and failed to open the locker. The officer noticed that Proudfoot had a wallet in his possession and determined his real identity after looking at his driver's license. According to the officer's report, Proudfoot admitted to, quote, moving items on the property, including R2-D2 and a game machine, end quote. Officials estimated the value of the R2-D2 statue alone is somewhere between $6,000 and $10,000. According to the affidavit, Proudfoot told Orange County Deputy Sergeant Steve Strickland of Strickland Propane that he had an application pending for a security position at Walt Disney World and moved the items, quote, to show weakness in the security of the resorts in the hope of securing a better paying job with the company.
Told you.
I'm doing this for their benefits. I'm helping.
This...
I'm helping.
Oh, I love it. I'm sorry, but I'm reminded of something similar to this that happened in Warhammer. Because, yeah, there was this one guy named Alfarius who basically did a fucking long con to show that the Emperor's personal security force, the Golden Boys, the Custodians, you know, those big gold motherfuckers, they could be compromised, and someone could, like, just cause all sorts of havoc and get in a position where he could actually have sniped the Emperor. And somehow that man was a Primarch. You know, one of the Emperor's children. But yeah, just, I love the genuine people that do this because, you know, this is actually a thing that happens. People are hired to show that, hey, if X and Y happen, your security can be compromised. There are people that actually do that, both in the real world and hacking. You know, those are white hat hackers, I think.
White hat hackers don't necessarily work for anyone. They just kind of do this they do it in a way to like fuck with evil people. But you're thinking of sneaker teams.
Oh,
black hat teams.
Right, my apologies. I'm sorry.
Even so, like, there are people who are legitimately hired by companies to find the flaws and the security leaks in order to better like prevent them in the future. It is a thing. It is a thing that does happen. But sir, you're not one of these people. You are not one of these specialists hired by the mouse to find out the flaws in the mouse.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's more on his list. Mostly from hotels. In fact, he was linked to theft reports from weeks earlier at multiple other Disney hotels. On May 16th, management at Disney's Fort Wilderness Lodge reported several items stolen from the gym area and 2 restrooms on the property, according to the local television station. The missing items included custom Disney World lighting fixtures and a custom towel cabinet valued at more than $6,000 total. Deputy said Proudfoot later admitted to breaking into 3 separate arcade machines at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, Boardwalk Resort, and the Grand Floridian Resort.
Oh, dear God.
Proudfoot was arrested and booked into the Orange County Jail. He made a written plea of not guilty on June 24th. According to online court records, not guilty my ass.
Sir,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Anyone that gets arraigned will say not guilty at first. No one, it's like anyone who gets a lawyer, even a public defender, says, well, they will tell you, my client pleads not guilty to such crimes. We would like to set up a case management conference to go over disclosure and all this other stuff. Everyone. That's just standard procedure.
Eventually he's going to admit, yeah, I took that stuff. Like, he may plead to a lesser charge, but, like, it's... Dude, they caught you red-handed.
Yeah,
the mouse don't like it when you steal his cheeses.
More than likely what will happen is he will... because DeSantis removed Disney's Disney's independent status, it basically gave them, kind of their own personal rights over their over their little plot of land where they had their own like fire department, things like that. Essentially, now the case will go to Florida, whatever county the mouse is in, and he'll probably charge to he'll like when you hear like a shit ton of like of charges like that. That's basically just to like sweeten the deal to get them to agree to a plea, because trials are a pain in the ass. And what they will do is say, look, here's what they're doing. If you admit to doing it, if you actually accept, plead out, this is what we'll offer you. And then you'll go back and forth saying, well, maybe we could get this. Can you do this? How about this? Blah, blah, blah. It's a negotiation back and forth. Call them settlement conferences. And every 30 days, they'll get together and say, okay, so how's it going? You guys actually agreeing on anything? We have, Your Honor. We agree to we'd like to schedule a change of plea for this date. All right. See you in 30 days. Then you change the plea. Then they say, okay, plea's been changed. See you in 30 days for the sentencing. And usually, especially for petty crime, nonviolent petty crime like this, you probably just get probation, fine, which you'll have to pay back to the mouse.
Yeah, he will be a slave to the mouse for quite a while.
To be honest, since all the lost property was recovered, I mean,
they may just make him pay a lot of money.
They may just make him pay a fine. I mean, like the only time like victims get compensated for theft is if like the pieces that they've stolen are lost or destroyed or sold off.
I mean, hell, the people who liberated that one animatronic from that closed fucking attraction, the imagination attraction got a heavier situation going for him than this guy probably.
One final article. We got one final article for tonight, and this is firmly filed under the category of no one wants to see your dick.
Is that another honest rendition?
Man allegedly airdropped lewd photos of himself to fellow plane passengers.
Airdrop?
Twisted dick pics while I'm flying!
It's bad enough that we're trapped in a fucking tube with you. You gotta be like this?
Did he, just run up and down the aisles throwing dick pics at people?
No. This is, well, let's get into it. This happened on June 27th. A man was accused of sending lewd photos of himself to his fellow passengers on a flight, as seen in a TikTok video viewed more than 5 million times. A TikTok user shared the video and said she accepted the photos from a man she referred to as Larry. Once she saw who sent the images, she immediately alerted a flight attendant. I saw his iPad had AirDrop open, so I knew it was him. And yes, I did make a scene, read the caption. Now, for those who are not aware, this is Apple's AirDrop. It features... It has a feature which allows Apple users to share and receive photos and documents. Quote, you can put your AirDrop receiving setting to contacts only or receiving off at any time to control who can see your device and send you content in AirDrop. Devices that have an incoming AirDrop receive an alert that is accompanied by a preview, and users can choose to accept or decline the content. In their first video, the TikTok user is heard calling the flight attendant over to explain what just happened. The camera is pointed directly at Larry as the flight attendant asked him if he sent the photos to the passengers, to which he nodded. When she asked him why he sent the images to passengers, he shrugged before saying he was just having a little fun.
That's not a little fun. That's gross and indecent exposure.
I want to know how they all knew it was from him. Like, I mean,
well, as I said
it's
before,
it's not like.
I can say this as somebody who has an Apple device. Most of the time, your AirDrop will either have the name of your tablet or your name. Like, it'll have your name, or it'll have your iCloud handle, or whatever. It'll have a name associated with it, and usually it'll be like it'll have something associated with it to mark it as belonging to you. So in this guy's case, Yeah, he probably had it open, and when she looked over his shoulder, looking around for whoever the fuck had sent that, she saw that his thing was open, and he was he was also probably giving away some tells, like he was probably giggling or smiling or something like that.
Let's see. In a second video, the text over the user's clip stated that she met with an FBI agent and was told Larry was arrested. There was a child who was sent the photo but didn't approve the airdrop. His dad was ready to fight. Read the text over the clip.
Now this guy's gonna have some pedo charges thrown at him.
Well,
no, it's going to be... The thing is, they could technically probably charge him with sexual misconduct involving a minor or distributing lewd images to a minor. However, it's not surprising the FBI is involved because, well, it's on a flight. It's now under purview of the federal government.
Again, because now a kid is involved, this guy's about to get some really fucking hard shit thrown on him.
He's in deep
It may not stick, but it's still gonna get his ass beat.
We have a third video where the user explained what happened. She said she was speaking with the man who sat next to her on the plane when she noticed she had an airdrop notification. Although the man next to her urged her not to accept the airdrop, the user said she was curious and saw that Larry, who was sitting in the row across the aisle, was sending images via airdrop. She viewed the images and asked Larry if he intended to send her the images. He said he did mean to send the images to her and the other passengers on the flight. The user said Larry continued to look at the explicit images despite there being a child and teenager sitting behind him. She also said that the flight attendant did not confiscate his AirPad for the duration of the flight. The plane lands, and Larry gets escorted off, and then there's 8 of us, I think, that were the people who called the flight attendant. We got escorted out, we had to meet with the FBI. And that's pretty much the end of the article.
Just...
Larry, my dude.
Just because you were bored on a fucking plane,
For fuck's sake.
you're gonna get yourself a record.
Nobody wants to be on a plane to begin with. They are there for the necessity of it. They don't want to be in close contact with any of the fuckers that are nearby them, but they put up with it for 2, 3, maybe 24 hours, depending on where the flight is going.
But that's the thing, Larry, my dude. Even if you don't serve any jail time for this, and you just have to go to counseling and be on federal probation, you still got yourself a fucking sex offender rap.
You are now a literal flight risk. Just nobody wants to interact with anybody else on an airplane. So why the fuck did you think this was a good idea?
I think this week's episode is going to be called Poor Life Choices.
No, I've got one better for you. I will call this episode The Tour de Dick.
The Tour de Dick, yeah, because too many of these stories involve people being dicks or having their shit exposed.
Yeah, just fucking...
off the train now?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I had to scrounge for content this week, but what little I got, oh boy. I think it was enough to get the point across.
That people are dicks.
Yep.
Some people are too fascinated by what is inside their pants.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for us tonight. With me here tonight has been the fangirl.
Put your pants back on!
And Sherlock.
Yep, I was here. Think.
As always, folks, our banner art was created by Court Awesome, and our theme song was created by Marivex. You can find their social media, our social media, and all of the articles in the YouTube description. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that garbage. Maybe buy me a coffee. I don't know. I don't care. Just as long as you're watching this show and you're enjoying it, hey, that makes me happy. Even if you don't enjoy it, hey, at least you gave it a shot. With that, my name is Trademark, and good night.
But we really want you to bed now, shall we?